Mr. Funk, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room and your attorney is gonna join you there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Josh, I see you out there.
Yep,
I put
I'm
Mr.
heading back in.
Okay, I put Mr. Funk in, breakout room two.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, whatever you guys want to do now.
Samer, are you done with Van Buren?
I am. I'm done with Mr. Hughes. I don't know if the other jurisdiction logged in for Michelle Japinga.
Yep, they are here. I'll put them back in, room one.
Thank you. You could go ahead. Yeah, if you could put me in there too, and then I'll go ahead and interview her.
You're next.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know. This is, yeah, I'll be, you can grab a seat out here, and I'll be up. We can talk here just a minute. Make sure, I don't know where you met. You did not coordinate.
You're fine. Arraignment. Mr. Jadala is on. This is 230863 FT, State of Michigan versus Jonathan Hughes. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Hughes. Your Honor, if you could repeat that case number, please.
230863 FT.
And Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading, stand mute. Mr. Hughes understands what he's being charged with as well as the possible penalties. I've gone over his rights. He does understand those. This time, Your Honor, we'd respectfully request court-appointed counsel moving forward.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes, would you state your name for me, sir?
Jonathan Hughes.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes, were you able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. There was a petition for a court-appointed attorney attached to the front of the file. The court has signed that. Mr. Hughes, you will be assigned an attorney going forward. It will not be Mr. Jadala. It will be someone else who relies on the information contained on that form to be in contact and communication with you. Sir, you also have the right to be considered for pretrial release. The recommendation from Van Buren Township Department of Public Safety is that your bond be set at $10,000, 10%. Based on the fact that you have outstanding warrants, that you have a history of non-appearance, that you have open warrants out of Meridian Township, Washtenaw County, and Dearborn, that you high-speed flee and elude in a vehicle. The department also requests that you be placed on a GPS tether. Mr. Jadala, what say you to that recommendation?
And Your Honor, I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Hughes. He's 43 years old. He's currently unemployed. He does have 4 children, 3 of them which are minors, Your Honor. He's not on probation or parole. He has no holds or warrants. He's been incarcerated now since the 10th, making it 4 days. We just respectfully request a reasonable bond in this matter, Your Honor.
Mr. Hughes, the court will deviate slightly from the recommendation made by law enforcement. Set your bond at $5,000, 10%. Sir, your next appearance date will be on November the 22nd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. with Judge Green. That will be by Zoom. Again, this case number is 230863 FT. Next appearance date is November the 22nd, 2023, 8:30 a.m. by Zoom in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Jadala?
No, Your Honor, and I believe he has a companion misdemeanor that he has a warrant, and I just would waive formal reading and stand mute on those charges. I believe that is 23-0127.
I don't have another file, Mr. Jadala.
Okay.
Judge, there should be a history sheet with a ROA printout. It's scheduled for Thursday this week for pretrial via Zoom in your courtroom.
But Mr. Jadala said there's another warrant. I didn't show that case. Hold on.
No, we don't have a warrant. We
Oh.
just have the other case that's scheduled for Thursday this week.
I got it.
You got it, Mr. Jadala. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes, I'll see you on Thursday at 8:30 for our pretrial at our misdemeanor matter.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Van Buren.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We have 220555 FY, State of Michigan versus Michelle Japinga.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, MIDC Arraignment Counsel, appearing on behalf of Ms. Japinga. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Ms. Japinga understands what she's being charged with as well as the possible penalties. I've gone over her rights. She does understand those. At this time, we will respectfully request court-appointed counsel and this court adopt the recommendations for personal bond.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Michelle Japingate?
Ma'am, were you able to hear Mr. Jadala just now?
Yes.
Thank you. The court is in receipt of the petition for court-appointed attorney and will sign that. Mr. Pinga, you will be assigned an attorney going forward in this felony matter. It will not be Mr. Jadala. It will be someone else who relies on the information that you included on this form to be in contact and communication with you. The request from Romulus Police Department indicates that they do not oppose a personal bond For that reason, the court will set your bond at 5,000 personal. Ma'am, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety. Your next appearance date will be on Wednesday, November the 22nd at 9:30 a.m. That will be courtroom number 3 by Zoom with Judge Green. Again, this case number is 220555 FY. Next appearance date next Wednesday, November the 22nd at 9:30 a.m. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Romulus?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. Take care.
Have a good day, sir.
You as well, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge, I
Yeah,
apologize. Can you repeat the bond for that one?
5,000 personal.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had to change the time myself. Somebody failed to come in here and this is 21BL00266SD, State of Michigan versus Funk. May I have your appearances, please?
Nathaniel Funk, for the record.
Thank
Morning, Your
you.
Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, MIDC counsel, on behalf of Mr. Nathaniel Funk, who's appearing via Zoom from the Monroe County Jail, waives his in-court presence. Your Honor, we've had an opportunity to discuss this with the probation department here in 34th. We would ask that Mr. Funk's matter be removed from warrant status to allow him to begin his process through the sobriety court down in Monroe County.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. The court has reviewed the memo from Anthony Grant, the court's probation department that was dated this morning that indicates that this court needs to remove the warrant so that Mr. Funk may be admitted into sobriety court in Monroe County. The court will recall the warrant. Was there anything else required of this court, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor. I am going to just stay in contact with Mr. Simpleton or Simonton from.
Simonton, yes.
I've already been in contact with him, and I'll just monitor his probation. Give me 1 second, Your Honor, because I believe he was due to be. His discharge date with us. 2021.
With the sentence, yep. It'll be January of 24.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna ask that we extend his probation. Can we extend it for the 12 months, and I'll monitor with Monroe County and his compliance with the sobriety court?
Mr. Grant's asking that Mr. Funk's probation with this court be extended for 12 months and that he continue to monitor through Monroe Sobriety Court, Mr. Funk's progress.
Understood. The microphones aren't on council table. We just couldn't hear what Mr. Grant was saying.
Any objection to that, Mr. Hadley?
Mr. Funk, hearing what the court and the probation department just stated, do you have any issue with the 34th district probation being extended further? Do you need to speak with me privately? Would you like to move forward?
No, I'd like to move forward. I think it'll work out.
Very good, sir.
Thank you. Then this court will enter an order extending Mr. Funk's probation by 12 months, and Mr. Grant will just continue to monitor Mr. Funk's progress through that court sobriety court. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Funk, good luck to you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Is there a way you guys can message Mr. Simonton and let him know that you guys are done with me? Well, not done with me, but.
Mr. Grant will relay that information.
All right. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you. Why'd you go out in the hallway?
Thought we were done with that. Yeah.
supposed to get these on Zoom, can't hear anything.
You can't hear well, or you can't hear at all?
No, these don't pipe into Zoom. This does. So I could hear him, but it was just because he speaks loud and like his voice projected enough I could pick it up here. But like when the Wayne County APAs were here the other day, we didn't get anything.
Okay,
Just as a,
nice to know.
I don't know where, I mean, the green lights are on, so it's definitely being recorded or going somewhere.
It's recorded, just not amplifying enough for you. Okay.
Okay. We're all set to go. And Kelly Regay, R-A-G-A-Y.
1803330OM.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of Commissioner Kelly Regay. Please state my right. Please state your name for the court.
Kelly Regay.
Thank you. Today was the day and time set for show cause in this matter. The court has received from Mr. Grant, the probation agent on this case, an indication that Ms. Regay was sentenced for retail fraud, was ordered to do 6 months of probation, along with attending the economic crime program, served 6 days on the court's work program and maintain her payment plan, that she failed to appear in court at any point between May 2015 and October of 2023. She incurred that she remained in warrant status until she was picked up by Van Buren Township Department of Public Safety on September the 29th, 2023. Judge Oakley set a personal bond for her. And Ms. Regay was provided a new show cause date with this court on October 2nd, 2023. She failed to appear at that date. The court did subsequently arraign her and set a bond at 1,010% and set a review date for today for Ms. Regay to appear and show that she was in compliance with the orders of this court. She has failed to provide the probation department with any of the requested documentation, has failed to make any payment on her fines and costs. Mr. Hadley, what is your position in regards to these allegations?
Factually, we concur with what the court stated. We had a chance to talk about it. Ms. Regay, during the period of time, was between addresses. Sometimes it sounded like almost without a permanent address. Again, now trying to move forward steps, has availed ourselves of the court. And I guess as to the failure to appear, yes, we would plead responsible to that. Forward looking, we did speak with Mr. Grant, kind of discussed what's this look like going forward. I think at this point, after speaking with Mr. Gay a little further, it sounds like some of the work program, maybe the few of the days had been completed prior to the absconsion from probation. We would ask for a return date of January 8th of 2024 to allow her to reach out to the probation department and kind of find out what steps need to be taken to get this matter closed out.
Mr. Grant.
I did send her an email on October 23rd, letting her know that we wanted the 12 hours of community service and the amount of money that she owed, as well as the substance abuse documentation that we asked for, as well as a list of attachments for that community service. We were only looking for 12 hours. If she's looking for more time to do that, then I don't object.
You don't object.
I think that was our most important, because this is such an old, 2018 probation, is that she was clear on, again, what steps she needed to take. We understand I think there was a crime prevention reduction course that had been mentioned. So yeah, I've asked her to just reach out directly to the probation department to make sure that we're able to be in compliance with her, aware of what exactly those conditions are.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. And since Ms. Regay was placed on probation, this court has ended its work programs that was the 12 hours of community service in lieu of completion of work program. But the court will accept your plea of responsible to failing to appear. We'll set a return date for Ms. Regay of January 8th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. back here in courtroom number 1. You have until that time, ma'am, to complete the 12 hours of community service with proof of that to Mr. Grant. If you don't already have a relationship with a nonprofit where you can get those hours done, reach out to the probation department. They maintain a list of places that are available that will work around any schedule you have. There are even some virtual options available. Additionally, the court shows that there is a balance due of $280. If you have not already set a payment plan, please do that sooner rather than later. Was there anything else, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, I would note that, again, Mr. Gay, right now financially speaking, we'll set up a payment plan, but is financially in a difficult spot, again, come between residences. If we reach the end of the line, is there the option still converting fines into community service? I'm not sure what the 280 are. Sometimes it's something that can't be converted. Sometimes it is. I just didn't know if that was even an option.
I don't see that it's restitution. We should be able to do that if she is unable to make that $280 or any payment thereof. I mean, if we return in January and the only thing is the money she's done the community service hours, that puts us in a slightly different position,
Very good.
if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Thank
Okay.
you very much. We appreciate it.
After the original 12.
After the 12 are done.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Gay?
I know, ma'am.
Good luck to you. Have a good day.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you.
I sent it on October 23rd here. Yeah. I could resend it if need be, but I sent you that list on the 23rd. Is it Reggae 90? Reggae Kelly 91? Yep.
Do you know if anyone else has checked in with Mr. Hadley?
Miss Taylor. And I don't know if she brought her significant other or not, but there's somebody here with her.
Mr. Hadley,
Yes, Your Honor.
I just want to confirm with you that the only other person that's checked in from the 9:30 docket is Ms. Taylor.
That's correct, and she just stepped into my office. We'll be into court within a few minutes on this matter.
Absolutely. I just want to do the other failures to appear with Mr. Grant in your absence. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
This is 220531 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Amanda Atkins. This case was scheduled at 9:30 this morning for show cause, as Ms. Atkins has failed to make payments of the fines and costs in this matter. She had until today's date to come into compliance. Mr. Grant, have you had any update or communication from Ms. Atkins?
I have not.
How would you like to proceed this morning?
Warrant status.
Case being scheduled at 9:30, being 9:53 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 220443 FT. This is State of Michigan versus Jordan Clark. The matter was scheduled for 9:30 this morning. The defendant had been previously ordered to complete 48 hours of community service. The court has only received documentation showing 17.75 hours. The defendant had resolved his active warrants and has otherwise paid this matter in full. The only thing outstanding is the community service hours. Mr. Grant, based on Mr. Clark's failure to appear this morning, how would you like to proceed?
I spoke to Mrs. Rapp, and there's been no change. She has not received anything, so we could place him in warrant status as well.
Thank you. Case being scheduled at 9:30, being 9:54 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue 1,010%. Court is setting a lower bond amount inasmuch as the outstanding violation regards community service and there are no other active warrants, and the defendant has paid the original fines and costs in this matter. This is 230027 FD. This is State of Michigan versus Robert Cronenwit. There is a memo from the probation department that indicates that Mr. Cronenwit, the defendant in this case, has failed to test with the court since October 26, 2023, has not answered emails or phone calls from the probation department. He has not been complying with his alcohol monitoring, and as of October 28, 2023, the battery in that device is dead, and Mr. Cronenwit has not charged it. He's failed to produce any documentation for any of his requirements under probation. This case was scheduled at 9:30. It's now 9:55 by this court's clock. Based on the defendant's failure to appear this morning, Mr. Grant, how would you like to proceed?
Warrant status.
Case was scheduled at 9:30. It's now 9:55 by this court's clock. The defendant has failed to appear. He has stopped testing. He continued to test positive for alcohol after being admonished by this court on October 23rd, 2023, that any additional positive tests could result in jail time. Bench warrant shall issue 10,000, 10%. This is 230193 OD. This is City of Romulus versus Alexandra Wargo. Case was before the court this morning on a show cause. The defendant had previously failed to enroll in parenting classes, failed to enroll in drug or alcohol support group, tested positive at JAMS on September 30th, 2023, and on October 11th, 2023, and failed to test on October 20th, 2023, failed to maintain her payment plan and owes in this matter $1,475. This case was scheduled at 9:30. It is now 9:57 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Mr. Grant, how would you like to proceed?
Warrant status.
Bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. This is 22 HR 09674C. This is Huron Township versus Anthony Williams. The case was scheduled this morning for a show cause at 9:30. The report from the probation department is that the defendant failed to maintain his payment plan and owes $881 in this matter. Case was scheduled at 9:30. It's now 9:58 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Mr. Grant, the court will issue bench warrant in this matter 5,000, 10%. This is 230489 SD. This is State of Michigan versus Darren Reed. The case was scheduled this morning at 9:30 as a show cause. The report from the probation department is that the defendant has been charged with a 2-count assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation, domestic violence, second offense, and habitual offender stemming from an incident that occurred on November 3rd, 2023. He was arraigned on those charges. Mr. Reed was arraigned on those charges on November 9th, 2023. Case was scheduled this morning for 9:30. Again, it's 9:59 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear and having incurred new charges since he last appeared in this court. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. I'm sorry, Mr. Grant. Was Mr. Reed still in custody to your knowledge?
He was not. I honestly don't know. I know his bond was 2,500 is what he needed to pay.
We have one other case on the docket. Mr. Hadley is actively in communication with that person. We have a wedding at 10 o'clock. So as soon as we conclude the Taylor matter. So Mr. Grant, the Parade of Lights is coming up. I think it's December 1st. I think we need to talk to Mr. Taylor about getting some lights on the shuttle bus. I think we can decorate it festively enough for the trip down Main Street.
That's what you're wanting?
It's not about what I want. It's just always such a nice time of year and the different floats that people get together and an opportunity to see Santa at the library.
That is a nice library.
She's basically would have been done to. So basically, I'm just ocean sense.
Your Honor, do you have Ms. Taylor's, was it the spousal diversion?
I'm guessing it is. I couldn't find the case book of.
It was
Okay, that makes
from
sense.
November 15th of 22.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
I know.
When it goes into double secret, it stays double secret until it comes back out. There's no